This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And we missed a week.
We did miss a week.
We did miss a week. So I got to ask, did you actually come here?
No.
Good. I wasn't here. I forgot. It was just like out of routine because Labor Day Monday.
Right.
And it was like, oh, we're out mini golfing.
Okay.
That's where we were. Actually, when you text me, I was sitting at Ice Cream Factory. My kids wanted ice cream. So
okay.
Yeah. So that was that.
I was doing something else. I was like, I'm probably not going to make it. I'll just text and see what's going on. Because I never know what people have going on holiday weekends or whatever. So it's always
But it was good. There wasn't really much to talk about anyways. I mean, there was
it was the off week.
Yeah. What was the tournament that went on though?
CCR Open.
Yeah. So it was still good. I mean, I had a good Labor Day. It was enjoyable, fun. We barbecued. What did I barbecue? I used the Blackstone and did something. I don't remember what I did now.
Nice.
What type of meat it was. So it was good. You guys do anything cool or exciting, fun?
Did we do anything cool? No. Went to the beach because it was like the last day before school. Mm-hmm. So we just hung out at the beach for a while. And then
Noise.
That was about, I feel like there was something else that.
Yeah, there was something big that went on too.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
I can. We opened the shop.
Nice.
The new shop.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so Saturday was the official grand opening. So Friday night we did kind of a soft opening, kind of just invited a couple people and had them come in and see community-wise. And then Saturday we did the full opening. So there was a tournament. We were doing a flex, and then we opened the shop at 10. Mm-hmm. And it's been great. I mean, it's been awesome. So thanks to the community. Everybody is supporting us amazingly. And we're going to be needing to order more discs for sure. So,
nice. Well, that's good.
So the only thing that we were kind of short on, we had some bags that we need to put in. The tech disc area was not completely set up yet. Mm-hmm. And then just little odds and ends things, like little things that we notice, but nobody else notices, but like finishing touches stuff,
Sure.
And then our MVP wall wasn't up yet because it takes 6 to 8 weeks for MVP to get to us. Just that's their packing time right now.
Goodness.
Yeah, but we got it Tuesday after Labor Day. So we had it down there by Wednesday. Everything was up, and it's been flying off the shelf. So we're going to put in another order pretty quickly here because it is what it is, which is good. This is all good stuff. Our used disc section is pretty big now. Mm-hmm. So we started our used disc program. And somebody came in and dropped off like 100 discs almost immediately. It wasn't that many, but it was probably like 70-some discs.
Yeah.
Then we've had a few people turn in, 5 or 10 here, 5 or 10 there.
Sure.
So it's been great. And we're moving through those pretty quickly. In the process, and we said this before, but it's officially happening. We're building a new website in the back end just to make it a little more friendly to all the options that are there.
Yeah.
So you can kind of click the variants. So if there is a color you like, you click that picture and it populates it instead of actually having to pull a drop down now.
Okay.
That's what you do now. So be a little more friendly with online shopping.
Cool.
And then hopefully tomorrow I'm going to go down there and I should have everything good to go with tech disc. Mm-hmm. So we have the iPad, I'll have the TV, we'll mount and do all that stuff tomorrow. So the tech disc room should be ready to go. But in the meantime, we've just been using it as a throw room. Someone wants to grab a disc, throw. Throw.
Because the net's up.
Net's up.
Yeah.
Pads are up.
Nice.
Floor's in. And then we have 2 putting baskets. We have 2 lanes in the shop with 2 putting baskets and been getting used. So we're going to have some fun stuff coming up over the winter. We got some other exciting ideas, but we're going to get them 100% certain before we start bragging about them. But they will be activities with all the space that we have.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. But yeah, it went really well. And like I said, just a lot of thanks to support in the community. Mm-hmm. So, and then 2 days after Labor Day, so Wednesday, we went into the old shop and officially met with the town, met with the health department. Official going to have donut shop in there.
A disc donut shop?
A disc donut shop. Just a donut shop. So laid out, kind of like put the tape on the floor, laid out the new kitchen area and all that stuff. And so we'll be starting on that as well. So we'll have a donut shop and a disc shop, just different cities.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting.
Cool.
Yeah. So
You know what I've only seen a couple pictures of the shop,
okay.
and it's like not like weird angles, but it was like an angle from one of the putting baskets out, and then there's another angle of like the register area.
Yep.
Just need a video of like just a little walkthrough.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Just to see everything.
So one of the conversations that we're going to have is what we should do with our social media.
Okay.
And I think one of the things is we've been really blasting people heavy with buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, right?
Okay.
You know, check it out, buy this, buy this.
Yeah.
We need to give a little more like, what do we do? Why are we special? We are the largest by square footage disc golf shop in Wisconsin.
By footage?
By footage,
Oh.
by square footage.
Wow.
See?
Okay.
I don't know by discs because Josh Hamm in that tiny little footprint has a ton of discs in there.
Right.
And Glide, I mean, Mike's shop is stuffed. Like underneath all those tables, there's so many discs. And we will talk about Mike Harrington and the amount of discs that he has. And that's not just the ones he has up for sale. But then he has like this hidden allotment of discs that he'll slowly pull out of his vault. So by no means are we have the most discs, but we definitely have the largest square footage. So because I was kind of looking around, unless there's some hidden gem that nobody knows about, like I don't know, it was like Justin Trails or something. Like, do you count that barn as the shop?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, like, but yeah. So, but with that, we should show people it, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like we should
Exactly.
walk, right.
Yeah.
Videos, reels. Right now we're just doing a lot of picture posts, So, but we're going to get to that. You know, it's just one of those things like we got time and we're doing this and we got time and we're doing this, you know? So, and sadly, none of us are really tech people. Like we all suck at that. We all suck at it. I'm a big consumer.
Yeah.
But I don't post even in my like personal stuff. Like Facebook may as well not even be an app for me anymore. Like I get on there for Marketplace.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it, you know. So, but you got to get back into it. Like I just re-downloaded TikTok. Stupid. I've spent like an hour going, "Oh, this is cool." You know, and yeah. So, but we gained followers on the 2 years I hadn't had it on the phone.
Oh, well,
So that was pretty cool.
that is good.
Yeah. But big thanks to everybody. I mean, it's done really well. So I'll take that. We will do a quick video of it because I think the only real video we have is when I was taking them and asking people what they're excited about as we were kind of building it out.
Yeah, like there wasn't a ton in the store. It was just like kind of empty space, maybe a couple things like laying on the ground or like put somewhere, but yeah, nothing like
Nothing once
officially
it's been put together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And it's still not put together, but you look back in the Instagram and you see the first shop opening and you can kind of tell like we go from just a couple bins to then a couple rows of bins and then like we go like all of a sudden it's full and we got bins underneath bins and it's kind of the same thing. We have so much space that all of our discs, I mean, I think we have a little over 7,000 discs.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know we had that many.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're just about that 7,000 disc mark. We have about 7,000 discs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off on that number. Someone will check me. One of the guys will check me, but I'm pretty close to that anyways. Let's say we have 5,000 discs.
Okay.
We maybe displayed 3,000 of them in the old shop. Every single one of them are out for display now.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, there's a lot of discs to go through.
Yeah.
And there's some gems that have been sitting there for a couple of years that we just didn't have a disc golf population in Door County. So there's some of these little gems that people are like, what? You guys still have these? You know, it's like, yeah. And they're slowly being like snatched up. So
yeah, right.
it's pretty nice. So yeah, so there's a lot of discs, and it still doesn't look full. Like we still have all the bins below.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the bins below, you know? So, yeah, just some of those little things. Like we just got to get in there and get those, like get the rest of the display done. And then we want to start, you know, like all the little accessories and things like that we want to put in there. But it just takes time, just takes time.
So is there too much shop for the shop?
I think right now there is. Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think we know how to organize it properly, but I think slowly, like we got our little seating area done finally. With the putting lanes, it helps, but it's like how much is too much? Like how much display? Do we really need to cover every portion of every piece of wall like
Sure.
almost all disc golf shops do?
Yeah,
or can we
right.
leave a little white space? Can we leave a little, can we make it more of a experience than a Dollar General,
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I think of other shops I go to, and these are fun. It's exciting to walk into shops and you just see piles of discs and racks full of discs and bins full of discs, and you're just like rifling through it all, right? As a disc golfer, I think that's really neat. But in the same regard, wouldn't it be nice just to kind of know where things are instead of being like, oh, I got this pile over here, and only like Johnny who works there knows where that is, Like,
Right.
hey, you got any comets? And they're like, yeah, we got 3 of them underneath the 4 destroyers beside the vultures, You're like, what? So I think, having it nice and organized, clean, was like a true, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a fun experience that you've gone into where it's not just like wall-to-wall crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something more boutique-y.
Sure.
Is that the right way to say it?
I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the long run, we'll probably fill it up and put all kinds of crap in there.
Yeah.
We're just using that as excuse right now because we don't have enough stuff to put in there. But no, so we're going to build some more racks. We're going to do things like that. But, and slowly but surely, once we bolster up like the mainline discs, like, the kind of the big 5, I guess, or I guess now it's the big 8. We're going to fill up like, once we got the MVP, the House of Discs, Innova, Discraft, once all those are like bolstered to where they need to be, Mint Disc reached out to us and just said, hey, you want to start selling our discs? And we said, sure. I don't know anything about Mint Discs.
You guys had some Mint Discs for a little bit.
We did. It was we got them from Infinite.
Okay.
It was one of those like where we just pulled some off of Infinite.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like a jackalope. I think we had, and then
definitely like Mustang, Bullet.
Yeah, Mustang, Bullet. You're right.
Maybe the Jackalope. I don't remember. But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe we had an account with them, and we ordered once and just never ordered again because they weren't that big of a thing. But
right.
We'll probably do some of those things like Thought Space. We'll try to bring in some Thought Space and stuff like that. But how much do you bring in boutiques that just sit there and sit there
right.
and sit there and waste space? It's like Lone Star. We used to be big fans of Lone Star because you bring them in and they just fly off the shelf. They're flying back into the shelves on the used bins.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it's responsible for us like Prodigy. I don't know if it's responsible for us in this area to carry Prodigy. Maybe if our online shop blows up and then we can, but it's just those weird things you just got to deal with, and you got to figure out what that area, that demographic of customer wants.
Right.
So, but those are all the things we'll learn. So communication with us and, from the customers to us is going to be key. So we're going to try to keep those pathways open as much as we can. And if someone says, hey, we want something and we hear it a couple times, then we'll bring it in. Mm-hmm. So, but that's kind of where we're at right now, but it's exciting.
That's cool.
It's exciting. So far, it's worth it.
Yeah. Right.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes from there. We got 29 months, like I said. That's how long the lease is. So we got 29 months to figure this out. If we haven't figured it out in 29 months, we'll do something else. Who knows? But with that being said, did you do any disc golfing over the last 2 weeks? When was the last time you threw a disc?
Oh, man. Honestly, I don't know. I can't remember when the last time I threw a disc was.
Okay, you act like you're busy or something.
Yeah. No, I threw some discs in my basket in the backyard.
Oh, did you? Okay.
One day. Yeah.
Was it like picking them up off the ground so you could mow and put them in the basket?
Kind
or was
of.
it?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was that, but I mean, with intent of throwing into the basket,
Okay.
not just like setting them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were like, all right, I can putt this.
Yep.
Did you have to hit the comebacker?
No.
No, you made them.
Yeah.
All right.
I just short because like my basket like is slightly uphill. It's like 5 feet of elevation or something like that. So I was down low. I was just like, okay, I can get this. Try to hyzer it in a little bit, but I ended up a little short because I hadn't putted for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it happens. I mean, it's just even when I go out and just play a normal round, my mechanics are just off.
Yeah.
You know, because I went from playing 5 times a week average to maybe once a month, twice a month now. You know, it's just a season of life. Like, I'll get back into it. I'll play more, but just a season of life, newborn, all that fun jazz and exciting stuff. And, but I go back out there now and I see what my disc is doing. I can feel what my body's doing. I can't stop it from happening. You know, before, like, I knew what I could do to correct it. And I mean, it's just like my step putt or my jump putt, like, it feels foreign to me.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like one of the best parts of my game. Like, if I was within 100 feet, I was at least hitting the target, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's like, I hope I can stay close.
Well, it's funny because before we left today to go to Green Bay, I was just in the garage and I was just looking at my bag and like all these discs I had on the ground. I just like kind of looked through them. I'm like, oh yeah, I have that. I have that. Yeah. And then I looked through my bag and I was like, well, like I know what I have, but I was like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
right? Like that's in there because I was testing some things, taking stuff in and out, and I was like, gosh, it's been a while since I've thrown that disc. Like I haven't thrown a driver in a while.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and up here, we don't have the discs to do it. I'm going to try tomorrow if I can get out of here early enough because we have our meeting down at the shop. Mm-hmm. If I can get out here early enough, I'm going to try to go by Shorewood.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then from what I understand, I'll need a driver.
Yeah.
There. But I got the new Gorgon, and I want to try that out.
Okay.
I haven't even thrown it. Well, I threw it once, like towards a trailer, but I have maybe 300 feet that I can throw it. So I want to try that out. But then I'm looking at all the discs in my bag, and like they're all the same thing. I have a bunch of like 7 to 9 speeds, like neg 1.
Yeah.
And that's like a neg 1 turd, and that's like my entire bag almost right now. So, and I got a couple mids, you know, my putters, of course, but for the most part, it's like 7 to 9. I have a 10 and an 11, but 7 to 9, like that's where my bag lives right now.
Yep.
And it works up here just fine, but everything is like a 7 to 9, like really, like I guess manipulatable disc.
Right.
You know, I can kind of throw it however I
Well,
want to.
I'm sure some of those aren't exactly still -1.
No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I got an FT in there that's like probably -2.5, 3 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like you kind of let it go on a big hyzer and it'll roll up and just keep rolling. But cue the song like, baby, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I was able to play Pinecrest, and then I got to play Bailey's.
Okay.
So I probably played like 4 times this month already.
Oh,
We're
wow.
only in like the 8th.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty good.
killing it.
Well, it's funny. I ran into Joe Paulson. We were playing volleyball.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, oh, yeah, I stopped in the shop. Have you been in there? I was like, no, I haven't had a chance to get down there at all yet. And then I was like, oh, did you happen to play the Flex? And he's like, yeah. I was like, how'd you do? He's like, same as I always do at Pinecrest, like -2 or something like that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That is a feast or famine course. I mean, you can easily get off the rails like really quickly. But they've done a lot of trimming.
Oh, really?
Kind of widened it out a little bit, took care of some of the landing zones. Like, it's not bad.
All right.
Like, it's getting a lot better. The whole crew that does stuff out there, like Lucas Stabenow is like really doing a lot of stuff there and has put a lot of time and energy into it. And then the parks department and stuff, like they've done a lot of good stuff out there.
Nice.
I mean, it's a decent 18-hole course. Like, it's a pretty darn good 18-hole course. So it's nice, you know, and for a flex, it's beautiful. It's spread out enough that you're not on top of each other. There's enough hole separation that you're not going to have big backups or anything like that. So big enough parking lot. So it's a really nice place. It's a nice place to hold them. So, and then we're right next to Perkins Park, and that's in the middle of a redesign.
Well, Mike's doing it, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
So some stuff was moved at the beginning of the season, and everybody thought it was Mike.
Okay.
Was not Mike. It was, I guess, a random Parks guy that did it. Mike's portion of it has not been finished. Like, and I think he's like put some flags out. Like, I think the design has been redone now. Yeah. Like, I think, but he hasn't moved any baskets or tee pads or anything like that. And from the little that I've seen of it, it looks pretty good. And it'll all tell once you start playing it. But so far, I like the layout as it is. You know, I'm not saying what Mike is going to do is any worse or any better. Mm-hmm. But I guess the surrounding neighborhoods really don't want to see it in there.
Really?
So it's kind of one of those like,
oh, no.
But we also have ran into the chair of the parks committee, or that park committee, and he seems completely awesome with it. Like, he's like, this is great. I love seeing you guys here. Like, this is, and then he told us all about the new redesign, not knowing that we knew Mike. And he sounds very enthusiastic about everything. So I don't know. There's a disconnect in the community, and you know how disc golf community is. You hear one thing and it just turns into this, like, who knows what direction it goes and who gets a hold of it. So, but as of right now, everything's awesome. So, but I'm excited to go play Shorewood. So I've been asked multiple times if I've played it.
Yeah.
And I haven't. But I'm also not really excited to play Shorewood because my game is garbage right now. So, but I'll just play it.
Yeah.
And then I know what it'll be like. I'll just set my my expectations very low.
Right.
When I go out there.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's always how it is with the new course. Yeah. You don't want to like hype it up too much and like your head, you just like, go out and throw it. You're like, well, maybe I can play better. Maybe it'll be worse.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You never know.
And I hear like, oh, it's a fun course. I shoot like 3 or 4 down. And then I hear, oh my goodness, it's the hardest course in the world. There's no way I can break. And then you hear of like a guy that shot a perfect round already.
Yeah, what the heck is that all about? I saw that on someone said that on UDisc. Like, who the heck shot a perfect round out here already? Yeah.
And I'm assuming, because there was also another one that was posted 2 days before the course even was open. And I'm going, okay, so are these things really happening? But there's a long and a short layout. Mm-hmm. And from what I understand, the short layout's a lot easier than the long layout. I haven't played it. I don't know it.
Yeah.
But it's much more scoreable. So maybe that was a case, you know, because sometimes you can just get on a heater and go. Or maybe homeboy's playing 2 off of each tee and just playing his best round, you know, playing best ball.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah. You never know.
Exactly. So I know doubles. A lot of people are saying that you should be double digit under in doubles.
Okay.
But I'm just like, how does that jive? Because if you're 3 or 4 and that's a good score, double digits in doubles, like that doesn't jive. Like maybe you do double what the best scores would be. Like, so you do like 6 or 8 under, you know. But who knows? Jeez. Who knows, you know? Like I said, it's just hearing from a lot of different people. So, all right. Anything else?
I don't know.
No. All right. Well, we'll just talk about DGLO then. We'll get into that. So, Discraft Great Lakes Open, presented by Garrett J. Verberg.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a new one. I don't know what that was, but anyways, it was
interesting.
DGPT Plus event.
Yeah.
It was held in Milford, Michigan. So at the Toboggan course, which I was mixing up with the other AM Nationals AM Worlds that was going on.
Oh in Michigan. Yeah. Right.
I was mixing those two up. So this is where AM Nationals is held. So I love the course. I'm never shy about saying I love this course. I personally played the course. It was Tick Haven when I was there.
Okay.
Like so much so that in the player pack they gave you Xanfill.
Ooh. Fun.
Yeah, it was ticks and poison ivy was just nasty. I didn't pay attention to the poison ivy, but because that never bothers me.
Yeah.
But the ticks, they were real. They were real. So much so that Jordan, we were sitting at a BW3s and he's like, oh, and he was like pulling at his beard because he felt something and there was a tick just crawling around in his beard.
Gross.
Yeah,
oh, man.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. So, but a good, so I actually sat down. I think I told you this when we were sitting at the football game.
Yeah.
I sat down and I was like, oh, great. I actually have some time, like infant sleeping in front of me. And I'm like, I'm going to turn on disc golf. I'm going to watch because I know it's the start of the
right.
tournament. And I turn on the disc golf and I get like on the beep boop thing, and like it all comes up and it's all looking pretty good. And I see the first hole. I see the lead card tee off. And I'm like, this is great. So I watch Paul, I watch all of them basically park it, and they all birdie it, star frame. And then the next hole, you watch Simon tee off.
Yeah.
Then you watch Paul tee off. And then AB is just starting his run up. And then the horn goes off. Inclement weather. The round was delayed. And I was like, come on. I actually had time to watch it and then couldn't watch it. But all in all, I got clips, and I went back and watched some of the rounds a little bit while I was laying in bed and doing stuff like that. Fantastic course. Like, it seemed like there's a lot of good play. The one thing that stood out to me, and I think we've probably seen clips because I think DGPT put this out as well, but hole, what is it? 1, 2, 3. Hole 3, throw down the big hill. Yeah. So it's after you come up after hole 2, you come back up the hill, you make the little turn, and you throw back down the hill.
Yep.
So most people are throwing driver, right? Mm-hmm. Anthony Barella decides he's going to go beast mode and throws Luna, parks it within 5 feet, birdies it. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Like, so effortless.
Right.
And it is downhill. I mean, it's probably 75 feet downhill.
Yeah. I mean, it's
what do they call it? A sledding run.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge hill. Toboggan. I mean, that's what they call it, toboggan. It's a toboggan run. It's a huge hill. But there's danger left, danger right. He just throws this beautiful, like, flat to slightly turned over Luna, just glides for days, lands about maybe 320 feet short. Mm-hmm. Luna to the base. Just incredible. And I played that hole, and while I was playing it, this was when I was in probably my best of playing. I went down to a fairway because distance drivers faded too much, but I went down to a fairway, and I think at the time I was throwing the FDs quite heavily, so I think I just went to like the second run FD, which is a bit more beefy.
Yeah.
But I threw it on a bit of an anhyzer and let it kind of hug the right hand and then finish. And I was still probably I bet you I was still at least 150 feet short of where he landed.
Dang. That's insane.
Yeah. And then I would throw, at the time I was throwing a ballista, like an old school West Side ballista. Mm-hmm. And not the pro, just a regular. And that was my second shot. And maybe 2 times out of 10, I could put it within the circle. And it was a full power, as hard as I could throw at ballista.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that island of OB at the time. So a lot of times I was just shooting for the front of that island. Okay. Like basically where the OB is in front of the green. I would just shoot for that and then pitch up from there and take my par. But it was impressive to see. So it's kind of the highlight shot that I watched. And then the winners, I'm stoked at the FPO winner. But do you have anything to say, or were you even watch any of it, or any clips?
I saw a couple clips here and there. I just, like Thursday we had soccer, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to watch that. Mm-hmm. Friday, just work and like doing some other stuff. Saturday, work, and then we had something going on at night. Friday we had it was a football game. The
football game, yeah.
Football game.
I'm really glad we went to that thing. Oh, such a close game.
Yeah.
It's only 48 points separating the teams.
Only.
It was bad.
It was terrible. For a fundraiser too. Like, my gosh.
So it was a big, for everybody that doesn't know, we live in a pretty small community, and the fundraiser was for a senior that had graduated last year, a kid that had graduated last year. Yeah,
he's going into his freshman year of college.
Yep. And he was on from what I understand, a full ride scholarship for athletics of some sort, right?
I don't know if it's a full ride.
But he got a scholarship to play.
Yeah.
And unfortunate news, he was diagnosed with leukemia. Is that right?
Some form of lymphoma.
Oh, lymphoma. That's what it was. Okay.
That's what it is. I forgot what the exact name is. It's a form of lymphoma.
So they did basically just a huge community fundraiser.
Yeah. And there was a lot of people.
A lot of people. I've never seen that many people at won any individual sporting event.
Yeah,
except for maybe not even state.
Yeah,
when they went to the state tournament. But it was really nice. It was touching to see the community come together
absolutely.
and support something like that. And I don't know what the numbers are that they raised, but I know a few of our friends and some of the community people. I know personally of a lot of numbers that were put out there, some big numbers that were put out there. And then when you walk through and looked at like the silent auction stuff, and there's some good numbers put out there. So
right on.
It was really awesome. So it sounds like a lot of that stuff will be, at least a portion of it will be paid for, so that's good. But with that said, we'll get back to.
Right. So I didn't get a ton of time to see this weekend, but I hope to go home and watch some.
Yeah. It is one of my favorite courses, and I love watching it. And I think once you've played a course, when you come back to watch it, it's just so fun to watch the pros play it. Because it makes you feel really good at points, and it makes you feel really bad at points.
Yeah.
The one thing that always makes me feel bad is when they replay the eagles straddling the
He
road
recreated
barrier.
that shot.
That's what I was bringing up.
Yeah.
And basically parked it again.
Yep. Yeah.
Just
Wild.
a standstill forehand, 400 feet.
Over the guardrail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's straddling a guardrail, like a road guardrail. And just like, give me a full run up. And I'm still not getting halfway there.
What's crazy too is I don't remember if it was the same year, but Kyle Klein almost had the exact same shot that he had to hit.
Yep.
And I think
he got caught in that tree, that big tree.
Yeah.
That's just incredible. But that's the difference, between pros and not pros. I mean, even in my prime, I would have never even thought. I would have looked right back at the fairway and just threw it out there somewhere, and still threw as hard as I could.
Right. Right.
Always, incredible. So,
Shot.
Well, let's get to the winners.
Yeah.
So we'll start with FPO, and we're going to start, let's see. We'll just start at number 4. So coming in 4th place at 19 down was Owen Scoggins. In 20th place, in 3rd place with 20 down, everybody's favorite disc golfer, Kristen Tatar. And then 23 down, a local here, Haley King. And she found no offense at this place. Everything was good.
Okay.
So
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. So she played well. There was no distractions there. And then
no slavery.
No slavery in this place. I'm sure there was, but not where she could visibly see it. Right. So, all right. Well, and taking it down is Holland Hanley.
Yeah.
Good for her. 26 under, final round, 7 under for the final round. But she, I want to say,
she set the course record on Saturday with a 10 down.
Yeah, with a 10 down. And I think other than the first round, so she was behind after round. Oh, she was actually after round 1. So going into round 2, she was 7th coming into that round. So she made a big push after that 10 down, and she held on to it. So it was not a remake of Worlds.
No.
She didn't fall apart. No. She held it together. So good for her. Not as big of a stage, but man, this is a course that can test a lot of people.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Does.
Yeah.
And does. And famously, the course that Paul Macbeth shot 18 down on, which, just for reference, where'd he go? He didn't even get, hold on, let me make sure. I don't even think through 4 rounds.
Nope,
he did not. That's what I thought. So through 4 rounds, he was only 15 down. So shows you the difference. Now, the course has been slightly redesigned. There are about 4 holes that are completely different. They have backed up some tee pads, moved some baskets. But for the most part, it's pretty darn close. It should be definitely better than 15 down over 4 days. So But we'll start at 4th here. No, we'll do 5th because I just want to make sure we touch on this real quick. Is Simon Lizotte. So kind of held on. This is kind of one of the better finishes we've seen this year.
Yep.
Out of him. So Simon Lizotte comes in 5th at 24 under. And in 4th is Evan Smith at 28 under. And tied for 2nd is Wysocki and Isaac Robinson. Look at that guy. Both at 30 under. And then Gannon Burr takes it down at 32 under. And Gannon Burr did hit the hot round of the weekend at 11 under.
And he swept every DGPT Plus event this season
with that.
4-0.
There you go. So he's the DGTP Plus
Master. Or something.
crown.
Yeah.
Triple crown. Quadruple crown. So the only thing that I saw, and this was just on a clip, where who was it that picked up Calvin Heimberg's discs?
Okay.
And did you know what happened?
It was Calvin Longquist,
Okay.
who is, think he's Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think he's from Minnesota. And he had a putt. And so he was straddled out a little bit. Like he had one foot behind a disc and like kneeling, and his foot was behind Calvin's disc, I believe. And he was kneeling behind his disc. So he putts his disc, missed, gets up, picks up Calvin's disc, I believe, and then picks up his own and is like walking away, and he realizes he has 2 discs, and he like kind of looks, and camera pans to Simon in the background, and he's got a little bit of a smirk on his face. And
Doesn't he kind of shake his head a little bit too?
And then like pans to Calvin. It's just dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Like,
well, does Calvin ever have any other expression?
yeah. So, yeah, I guess, someone kind of said maybe he had some jitters being on feature card and
For
Joe
sure.
Mass,
For sure.
How often does that happen to a 17-year-old kid or however?
Yeah. Wasn't that one of the ones where they put him on feature because of like winning a tournament or something like that, or was he the one that won Am Nationals?
Something like he was featured on at the Preserve, I believe.
He was okay. So
Being
maybe
from Minnesota. I think that sounds about.
And what was his
I don't know
name
if-
again?
Calvin Longquist.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find him real quick. Ooh, he did not do well. Calvin, 31st. Not horrible.
Okay.
I wonder if he received a penalty for that. I'm assuming he did.
Okay, so here's what it says for PGA rules. This is 810 and deals with PG 810 interfere. It deals with interference. A player who intentionally interferes with another player's disc in any of the following ways receives 2 penalty throws.
Ooh.
So altering the course of a thrown disc or moving or obscuring a thrown disc or marker disc other than in the process of identification, retrieval, marking, or as allowed by 810H, which is a disc in play that was thrown by another player and comes to rest on or behind the lie may be moved. After the player has thrown, the other player's disc is replaced to where it came to rest by the group, agreed upon by the group.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, like, did he, like, I don't think it was really intentional, but I could see how you're going to get stroked anyway, picking up the disc.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a tough situation.
So looking at his history, the best finish he had was 11th at, I'm just making sure I'm doing this right, was 11th at Dynamic DDO.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, like, he hasn't done very well at all. But now this is just the DGPTs. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think he was at Europe. He was not in Europe. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where he came from, because I know there's something about him. Let's see. I thought he won something that put him up in that way. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it was last year that he might have done something. But I remember hearing his name. I just can't remember. Okay, so open. Nope, I'm not seeing anything. So the LSO, which is a famous one for us around here. Mm-hmm. He won last year. Yeah, and that's it, really. I mean, he just kind of came onto the scene this past year for DGPT. So, been a member since 2020, so he's a Rona golfer. He is from Minnesota.
Yep.
Minnesota. Yeah, so in his career wins, let's look to see if there's anything. Yeah, it's just kind of Minnesota State Championships in 2020, and then LSO was probably the next biggest one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyways, I was trying to think of where I knew him from, but I can't. Maybe we've seen him around here once or twice or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyways, yeah. So kind of a big fumble to have like on live DGPT broadcast, and then not only that, but to have DGPT itself pull that clip and drop it on all their social media.
And Jomez.
Yeah, to really rub that thing in there. Yeah, so hopefully he's taking it well.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully they can just kind of
we'll never see him again.
Off or...
Yeah. We go to his Facebook marketplace, and he has a bunch of discs for sale right now. And he's taking up pickleball, like the rest of them.
Right. That's what the real tour life is all about. The pickleball on the side.
It's the pickleball.
I wonder how much money to put on those games, if any.
Man, I bet you it's a pretty decent amount for disc golf, I bet. I bet you they're throwing. I bet you the big bills are put down. I bet you it's $100 a game.
Sure, I could see that.
You think?
Yeah.
You get like Yuli out there and Brody, and I don't know if Brody plays pickleball or not, but I know Yuli does.
Yeah.
But you get let's say you get like Yuli and Melton and like Heimberg and I don't know, Ezra or something like that out there.
I could see it.
I can see some $100 bills flying out, especially Yuli after talking like, man, So speaking of, in other news, some exciting stuff. Disc Golf Answerman is coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have gotten permission to officially talk about it.
Okay.
I have nothing to do with it other than I know a guy.
Right.
But Disc Golf Answerman is coming back. So it will be Bobby and Eric McCabe who are coming back.
Okay.
And Bobby will be there for that first episode.
Okay.
And then Eric McCabe, from what I understand, is going to be taking over after that. And Bobby will pop back in here and there.
Sure.
But essentially, Disc Golf Answerman is going to come back, and Eric McCabe is going to take the reins and run with it. So Facebook group is back, and then the Instagram channel is back. Mm-hmm. The feed is back to Disc Golf Answerman from Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Right.
From what I understand, Bobby is going to retain ownership of it, and Eric McCabe is going to continue to run it.
Interesting. Okay.
So Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze is now Bobby Cool Shields Tulsa Breeze. I'm not sure if that's the right thing, but so he is really loving his position at Shields, and he is in full go mode right now because he is their marketing department, him and I guess a couple other people. And they're in the middle of opening, and everything I'm seeing looks like it's freaking awesome, like a bowling alley in there and stuff like that. Like,
holy cow.
Seriously?
Wow.
Like a shooting range, and I'm like, man, I want to go.
We have Shields in Appleton.
Yeah, it's not like
I don't know if that's like, no.
No,
Okay.
I mean, it's a mall Shields.
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
if there's a big difference in that, but it's still freaking cool. Mm-hmm. Like,
it is.
They do have the little shooting gallery, like the electronic shooting gallery. Nothing works.
Yeah.
And we went there, and I was like, I'm hitting it. Nothing. My kid's like, can I play? No, I'm playing. I'm still shooting. But yeah, so Eric will kind of take it from there, take the reins after they do their first episode. So I'm excited to hear the first episode, see where everything's going to go.
Right.
And I'm excited to see where Eric's going to go with it. And this is cut. That's all the insider information. That's all I know.
Okay.
So from this point forward, I'm talking on behalf of myself.
Yeah.
Not on behalf of Bobby, not on behalf of Eric or anybody else.
I wonder with Eric and the way Disc Golf Answerman used to be, if it will be DD heavy.
So that is my question, because I don't know, have we discussed this on air yet? about Eric McCabe? Have you looked at his profiles or anything?
A little bit. We maybe discussed it a little bit.
Okay. Well, essentially the absence of DD.
Yeah, right.
So, and I swear I've seen other discs being thrown by him.
Okay.
I don't think he's separated from DD, but I don't think DD supports him the way that they once did.
Sure.
So, you know, and it's just all like watching it, seeing how he was walking around with he was with Taco for a while and Taco's was let, I don't know if he's let go or he chose to left or whatever, but he was with Lone Star. I don't know if he's even still around disc golf anymore.
Okay.
But he was touring with Lone Star, and him and McCabe would make a lot of discs or videos. And when you see McCabe put out new videos, he's never wearing the DD stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you never see him. Like, he was always wearing DD stuff. So it's just speculation. You can see habits in body language and some of that stuff. Like, you can see that stuff in people. And with that, it doesn't seem like he's all in like he was.
Okay.
Or he's been pushed out in some way, shape, or form. Speculation 100%.
Yeah.
Like, this is all just thought. So I would like to see Disc Golf Answerman morph into something that's truly Disc Golf Answerman, not DD Answerman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think it'd be awesome. And I think it's a great opportunity for him to do that if he's being ousted or if his relationship with DD or if, you know, like, or he has another opportunity with another company. I don't see that ever happening.
The only reason that I would think it's not going to be is just the way things ended with Dynamic Discs and Bobby. If Bobby's still owner of it and being like, yeah, you guys can't really come into this.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too, I guess. But I think that was
because like that was agreed upon. That was Bobby's thing. So
it was Bobby's before he started with DD.
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, I guess he could do anything he wants on the side unless he has some sort of no compete on the side with DD or something where he can't talk about other discs or as McCabe. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, they talked about Lone Star's discs. Well, Taco talked about Lone Star's discs. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it though. Like,
yeah,
hopefully they can. I think it'd be really cool because I know for sure it's McCabe and Bobby for the first episode. How freaking cool would it be to call McCall back in there,
right,
and just have the trio back together?
That's what I asked it on the Facebook group. I was like, well, does this mean the OGs are getting back together, or like in what capacity is it going to be as close to the original, or
right.
if it's going to be some kind of variation or something.
And even just for like a reunion video or reunion podcast, that'd be awesome. Just one podcast, like put it all out there, have fun, talk about where everybody's at in their life. And then here you go, Eric, you know, like that'd be great.
That'd be great.
I'd enjoy that episode. But I'd like to see what Eric does, you know, so speaking candidly, Eric has done a lot of stuff on his own, and I really like some of it, and I really haven't liked some of it as far as his stuff goes. But I think the only reason I haven't liked it is because it's not consistent.
Sure.
You know, like you don't get it. Like you're like, oh, this is great. And he talks about stuff he's going to talk about next. And then you're like, where'd he go? You know? But like, I love hearing everything that guy says. So I'm excited about it. So it was just funny how we were just talking about all the old schools that were like gone in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So
that's true.
Now we just need Robin and Joe to come back. And our hearts will be complete. So, all right. Well,
wishful thinking. Perhaps.
Yeah, wishful. Very, very wishful. All right. Anything else?
I'm wondering if he'll bring in pros at all or anything like that, or
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could. I mean, I've only ever briefly messaged. I don't know Eric.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I may reach out to him and see if he wanted to talk or say something, and then we could talk about it. But maybe I could reach out, or maybe I can ask Bobby for him to reach out or something.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be. I don't know. It is interesting, especially because I don't know anything beyond that first episode. Like, I don't know anything else that's happening.
Yeah, like I just want to know why, like the timeline wise, why now? What? Because like, you know, Bobby's like, well, I'm getting out of disc golf, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, Disc Golf Answerman's coming back, and you're like,
yeah,
well, I thought you were done, or like, you know, like what's the situation that
I think it's the passing of the torch.
Yeah,
is what it is. You know, and I think Eric, you know, I don't know if you remember, but when Disc Golf Answerman, when Bobby left and took Disc Golf Answerman, and he was still doing, what was it called? Understable Minds?
Yeah, Understable
Minds. He was still there.
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember that episode, but he said he felt pretty hurt by Bobby taking Disc Golf Answerman and doing one last episode, and he wasn't part of it. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
It was either on his podcast or his vlog or podcast, or it was on Understandable Minds. But Eric McCabe was like outwardly and said it like, I feel kind of hurt. I was part of it, and I wish he would have asked me to be part of the last episode.
Oh, okay.
Well, hey, it wasn't the last episode, right?
Yeah. Now you got your chance.
Yeah, but when he changed it to Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, there was that moment because everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, how do you feel about that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I felt a little, hurt by it." And but I think all in all, I'm excited to see it. I mean, I hope it lives up to expectations. Does that make sense?
I did. Yeah.
Because those two primarily really played well off each other. And you throw McCall in there, and it was a fantastic trio. I hope McCabe can pull somebody in that can do that play really well off one another. So he has some deep connections in disc golf.
He's
been around for a long time, so I'm sure he'll be able to. But he's not going to have the money that Didi had thrown behind him. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of hurdles that he's going to have to jump. For sure. But it's a podcast, man. Like, have fun, talk about the stuff you want to talk about. People like it, they like it. They don't, they don't. You'll have an audience. It may not be as big as you want, or maybe bigger than you thought it was going to be. But just get on there and talk. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm excited about it. Maybe we'll hear about what his other favorite disc is, the Buzz.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness. Like, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting, like, recommendations.
Yes. I think that would be neat to see him come outside of the DD helmet or umbrella and start, like, because he's going to do disc golf, because he was disc golf for like 5 or 6 years before he was DD, right? Mm-hmm. And no, even longer than that, maybe. But anyways, it'd be fun to see him get out there and try out some of these new discs, because since he's been with DD, the amount of discs that have come out from other manufacturers and the other manufacturers that have come out since then. Yeah. I mean, MVP wasn't even a manufacturer prior to him coming to DD. Because he was DD, like 2008, 2009? Because he won 10. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of manufacturers out there that weren't even in existence. True. So
I wonder if he's ever, like, with players at Emporia State, he's like, what you got in your bag?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me throw that.
Yeah.
Like, like,
mind if I throw that?
I always want to try one of these.
Yeah, I've heard all this hype about the Hex. Yeah. So it'd be neat to see. I wonder to see a pitch in his hand of what he could do, because he is a wizard when it comes to putters and mids. Like, he's probably one of the best in the game throwing those things. I'd love to see him try some other manufacturers. So, all right. Outside of that, you got anything else?
Anything else? No, not really. It's been pretty quiet.
It has. I have one thing.
Okay.
www.doordisc.com is where you can buy all your disc golf needs. And if you want to come into the shop, we're at 550 North Military Avenue in Green Bay. It's fantastic. We're right under the clock, like the clock marquee, the shop, the main door is right dead center of the clock of the shopping center. So it's fantastic. We're a throw's distance, well, maybe 2 throw for me. 2 throws distance from a disc golf park, a disc golf course. Maybe like for Anthony Barella, like a Luna throwaway.
Yeah, right.
From Anthony Barella. But there is a Domino's pizza right next to us. Like,
oh, wow.
we got it happening.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I was there full time,
Domino's, sit down and watch disc golf.
my goodness, like the weight I've lost would go right back on. Guaranteed. Sleeper Domino's is one of the best delivery pizzas there is.
I haven't had Domino's in a long time.
Oh, so good. They have like this like garlicky stuff on the crust now. It's
Okay.
like this garlicky powder like crack,
Yeah.
Like it's like you could probably snort it and it would be good. Just saying. Oh, story from a friend.
Dang it. Somebody had really good breadsticks like that. Oh, and I don't remember who it was.
Is there really a bad breadstick?
I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean, not necessarily bad, but I have had some where I was like expecting like really good flavor, and it's like, meh. Like,
I got Wonder Bread.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, that kind of thing. Like people always rave about Olive Garden's breadsticks. I think they're all right. Like I like them. Like they come out, they're nice and warm, and like
Yeah. But the beauty of that is you can have as many as you want. That's
Well,
why
yeah,
people
right.
like them. Like, yeah, I want more. And they're like, really? Yes, please. Just put it right here. I hate it when Olive Garden comes up to you. And I haven't been to an Olive Garden in a long time. Like since we lived in Milwaukee, I think.
yeah.
I hate it when they come up to you and they just give you one breadstick. Like, seriously? You're insulting me?
Yeah.
Like, at least two. Two's the minimum. Can't walk around with that basket and
Yeah,
these
I know.
tongs and just put
Yeah.
one on my plate. No. Like,
Exactly.
why don't you put one basket here?
Put that down. Yeah. And then just go grab another from the
Just
kitchen.
Go get another one. I'll have this empty by the time you come back. That's the appropriate way.
I want to know the training for that. Right? Like you're going around, they're like, you gave that guy two? Oh, no. We don't do that here.
Except what? Do you think we just have all the breadsticks in the world? That's what you advertise. Like,
Yeah, right. Never ending pasta, never ending breadsticks.
like, salad as well.
Yeah.
We ran out of lettuce. Not acceptable. Yeah, it's I didn't mind that place, but the problem I always had with it. So we went to the one over by Brookfield Mall. There was one over there.
Okay.
I think it was Brookfield. What's the old one that shut down? The old mall,
Where?
Mayfair. No, but in Milwaukee.
Oh.
It's like the giant mall that shut down.
Shoot. I can't think
They had
of
all
it.
like the shootings and like the
Yeah,
gang
I know what
fights
you're
and all that
talking
stuff.
about, yeah.
Like it was a really nice mall, but they just had so many issues. Anyways, nevertheless, there was an Olive Garden over there, and every time I went there, like you would wait for like 45 minutes to get a table. It was stupid, and I'm just like, this is Olive Garden, people.
Yeah.
But man, it was fun, and I always like going there because guaranteed there was a prom going on.
Oh, right.
And they were always there.
I remember my aunt got us an Olive Garden gift certificate for one Christmas. And I was like, oh, thanks. I have no idea whenever the hell I'm ever going to use this thing because I'm never down here.
I bet you lost it before.
No, I think it just sat. We have a cabinet at our house that like we're like, okay, this is where all the gift cards go. And I'm like, Alyssa pulled one out today for I forgot where it was from. She's like, look, we got this gift card. Oh, it expired in 2017.
Shut up.
I was like, hopefully we used it and we just like kept it up there. But yeah,
Oh, wow, that's pretty bad.
it is pretty bad.
My problem is I just don't know where I put them.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, it's no secret. Like, I love sports shooting and, Verley's, the gunsmith down the way.
Okay.
They have gift cards. And I got a gift card like 6 years ago. And I know it's like $100 or $200. No clue where it's at.
no.
No clue. And I know I've seen it probably 4 or 5 times in that 6 years. But I never think to just grab it and put it in a central gift card
Sure.
location,
Yeah.
So yeah, there's gift cards floating around all over the place. Like I'll open a drawer and I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I close the drawer and may as well not have seen it.
Exactly.
So, well, that's another thing. If you ever want to buy a gift card and just lose it, DoorDash.com. We got them. You can do that. You can lose our gift cards. I don't mind that. But yeah, we have digital ones. So actually, you can't lose it. You just log into the website, and there's your gift card.
Sweet.
So, pretty nice. All right. Anything inspirational to leave us on?
Huh. Anything inspirational? No.
All right. If you're going to do a field goal kicking contests, make sure you don't have this phenom of a 10-year-old that is going to beat everybody except for one guy.
That was pretty impressive.
That was impressive.
There's another guy who had a leg. Oh. He just missed.
He would have been good from 50.
Oh, probably.
It was incredible to watch that guy kick. Like, he kicked it from, because would they start the first one off on the 5?
Goal, I think, is on the goal line.
Oh, was it goal line?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then they like moved back 5 yards.
It was 10 because it took so long to get through the line.
Yeah.
And then they went to the 10-yard, and he booted the thing like the rest of the
so
the rest of the field.
It'd be like an equivalent to like a 25-yard
field goal
or
20-yard field goal.
20-yard, yep. And then like almost booted it into, we have our baseball field, like there's the track behind it, which would have been like another
6 lanes.
Yeah, and like I don't know how. Yeah, it would have been probably easily 50 yards
at least, because it was over the fence.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it was incredible. I was watching that guy like, wow. And you said he was a high school soccer player. Mm-hmm. Jeez, they need to get that guy on the field. All he has to do is come and kick a ball.
Right. But that's the thing in 8-man. You don't see that.
No.
Because they don't kick.
No.
Except the kickoff. And then even then it's a squib kick or...
Yeah, and
that's
is puzzling to me. And I know it's the new NFL rules or the new NFL kickoff, and there's... The only advantage you can do is now like a low worm burner, like a squib.
Right.
You know, like this hard line drive. And that's really the best way you can kick off now. But... And maybe it's just that the kids didn't have the legs, but both teams were just squibbing it, like almost onside-ish.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was. And, you think you get someone like him, just boot it to the back of the end zone, like, or even just put it like on the 5 or something like that.
Yep.
And then you give your team a chance to get down there and do something, but I don't know. It was cool to watch him kick, though. That was probably the highlight of the game.
Yeah.
And then he put one wide right. He just pushed it off a little bit, which was fine, but he would have easily won. So, because I think they stopped it at the 22.5-yard line.
Yeah, they moved it up. Both kickers missed at
the 25-yard.
And they ended up moving up.
Yeah, and it was a 10-year-old and like a 40-year-old.
Yeah, and the guy's shoe ended up coming off every time he would kick it. Not the 10-year-old, but the 40-year-old guy. Yeah,
no, the 10-year-old was like booted. He had like cleats, gloves, like.
Oh, he was there to play.
He was there. Yeah, he knew what was happening. So,
oh my goodness.
But yeah, so there you go. Know who you're kicking against. So, with all that said, you guys have a great day and keep it subpar. Deuces.